1:30 in the afternoon. The heat is pretty intense. You can actually feel the sunlight kind of burning into your skin. Ah, okay. All right. Anyway, uh, lately I've been getting many youngsters, freshers who have been asking me about applying for jobs. Uh, and yeah, obviously, because my market is the Middle East GCC, I get a large number of youngsters asking for the GCC market. I did get one asking me for Japan, but I told them point blank, listen, Japan, I don't know, you know, uh, so don't ask me about countries I do not know. Ask me about the countries I know. One of them even asked me for US. Being a US citizen, asking me for US. I found that a little strange. Anyway, my expertise is the Middle East market. I'm not going to start acting or portraying that I know Japanese market, I know Malaysian market, I know all this. I know the UAE market very well. I know the Middle East market second. India, Canada, okay, so US, whatever. But rest of the countries, no. Like I tell people, every country has its own style of doing things. Anyway, so I have been getting a lot of these youngsters, young boys asking me, boys and girls, asking me for making their resume. So I thought I'll dedicate this video for them. Now, see, youngsters, no? When you graduate out of college, maybe you're good at public speaking, maybe you're a rank holder, you've got high marks for memorization, maybe you've taken part in many activities, co-curricular. But having said that, when you're talking of working for a company, it's a different ball game altogether. It's not like college, it's not like school. It's a totally different environment. Now, a couple of things what you need to understand is, the first one is you are a total liability if a company takes you. And why you're a liability? Number one is because you don't know anything. Like they say, no, you're green between the ears. You don't know anything. Everything you do will be just whatever they supervise you to do. And they would have to, it's like babysit you, you know. She's eating sand. So, makes fun. Yeah, say, have a look. What you doing? Eating sand? Chichi. So, that's the first part. You're a liability. The second one is, even if they teach you the tricks of the trade, you will eventually leave because you're a young man, you're ambitious, you have goals, you have dreams. And a person who is in his 20s has nothing to lose, nothing to fear. Yes, because you're at a growing phase, testosterone is oozing through your body, and you have your mom and dad, and you know, you basically have nothing to lose. You have nothing to lose because uh, you don't have mother, father to feed. You don't have a wife, you don't have kids. Let's assume you have a mother, father to feed. Okay, fine. Then you're slightly more responsible. But when you compare a 20-year-old to, say, 40-year-old, a 20-year-old would leave the click of a finger. The third one is the childishness, the immaturity, the lack of experience, the immaturity. You'll not be able to understand this right now. Even I'll tell you, it's not that I'm pointing fingers. I myself was totally and completely immature until the age of, I would say, 36, 37. It's surprising, huh? I was immature until that age. The reason being is I didn't have a family, I didn't have a responsibility, I didn't have kids. I was just fucking around. Today, I have a wife, I have a baby, and they both are dependent on me. And if I don't earn, there will be no money in the bank account. And then who will feed them? And I'm staying in a country where I don't know anyone. So in all aspects, it's like if I don't work, if I don't earn, they're finished. And today my life is teetering on the edge. It's like I don't, if Thailand say throws me out or I'm banned from Google and YouTube, and it's finished for me. I'm being very open about it. So I know my limitations. So because of which I am very respectful of the rules. I very mindful. I'm very aware. I don't take unnecessary risks. But if you'd ask me the same when I was in my 20s, I wouldn't give a damn. I wouldn't care a fuck. My ego was so big, and I thought I was Superman. I would want to argue and just lock horns with anyone. But today, trust me, in real life, okay, today in real life, I'm not talking of YouTube. In real life, if you would argue with me, let's say you shout, scream, whatever, immediately, I would say, okay, fine, sorry, take care, bye bye. I don't argue, I don't debate with anyone face to face. You might say, oh, so you're a keyboard warrior. You don't have any guts in real life. Well, where I stay here in Samui, if you argue with somebody, maybe he has connections, some kind of connections with somebody. It's not very uncommon here to someone taking a gun and shooting you. It has happened. It's not uncommon here someone will set your house on fire. It's not uncommon that when you're driving, someone will take their car, ram into you to kill you, So is this risk worth arguing with someone? If I know that my baby might get harmed or killed, my wife can get injured, my livelihood can be destroyed just for an argument? No. Why do you think I chose not to stay in India? Why do you think I chose not to stay in Dubai? Because if I had to do what I had to do, I couldn't stay in Dubai. If I had to uh, talk about Indians, I had to do it staying away from India because just, yesterday I forwarded a video about two guys taking a hammer, an actual hammer that you use, sledgehammer, to break rocks. They took the hammer and they broke a man's legs in the video. Actually broke his legs, hammered and broke his legs into pieces. So this is the kind of situation. So would you risk, I don't know about you, but sorry, for me, breaking my arms and legs and having someone hit a car where I can lose my baby's life, not worth your appreciation or YouTube views. So family safety is first. My livelihood is next. Then after that, everything else. Now, coming back to this one. The youngsters of any generation, they have nothing to lose. But the older you get, you have plenty to lose. Then the next one is, it's okay. A company will take you. What will they put you as? Obviously, a trainee or an intern, where you're looking at someone else and you're learning. But do you know, because of this, the productivity of the individual who is assigned to you, it also decreases, because now he's not only focusing on his work, he has to focus on what you're doing, he has to guide you. So there are resources being wasted, resources in training someone who's productive, someone who is mature, and his own productivity gets impacted. So in all these areas, if you actually look at it, to employ a fresher is an absolute and total liability. Total. It's a complete liability. But then the question is, I'm pretty sure you'll ask, but then Loy, what can I do to get a job? Or how will I ever get a job? There's only one solution to this, just one and only one, as far as I know. Okay, without getting into the cliche, okay, go through a reference and contact. That's very standard, that's very cliche. I'm sure you must have heard that, and I'm sure you will tell me, Loy, if I had the contacts and connections, I wouldn't ask you. Okay. So if that you do not have contacts and connections, the second one, and the only one I know, is be humble, be ready to work any job, anywhere, any place, anytime, for anything. You need to have that submissive and servicive attitude. Such a eagerness to work, a kind of enthusiasm to work for absolutely nothing. It's like your only purpose is to gain experience. If you're ready to do that with enthusiasm, with eagerness, with a willingness to learn, even at a zero income, eventually someone will say, okay, fine, I'll give you a chance. Once you get a chance, you start working your tail off. I'll give you a small example of what I had done so you understand. When I went to Dublin, Ireland, I was 21 or so. I married my Irish wife. Her name was Donna Byrne. Long story in itself. I don't want to get into it right now. Irish blonde girl. Things didn't work out. And I had to fend for myself. Now, obviously, if you're an Indian immigrant and you go to a foreign country, and that also it's a village, and nobody knows you, nobody's going to give you a job. So I looked around for a job. I finally got a job as a domestic engineer. Domestic engineer is, in other words, it's like you do all the domestic household chores like cleaning, sweeping. So I was a domestic engineer, so as to speak, but actually I was like a sweeper. I was a toilet cleaner. Fortunately, over there, the toilets are very clean. There's nothing, hardly anyone used to use it, and very clean, high standards. It was a brand new theater. So, and very few people would come there. So, the duty hours were 8 hours. But in Dublin, Ireland, they have a policy. If your duty is 8 hours, you work the first 4 hours, and then after that, there's a 15-minute break. Then you work the next, next 3 hours or something, and then you get a 45-minute break. So it's 1 hour. Then you work the rest number of hours. So that's how it operates. So they make sure that you get your 1 hour break in the 8 hours. And it's a policy there. If you work beyond 8 hours, you get paid 1.5 times your salary. So you get a 50% extra per hour. So everyone used to work within the hours, and the break they used to take very dedicated. So what I did is, initially I used to watch people. Okay, when they would take their break, they would go enjoy for a smoke or have fun or relax. So I decided I was not here to make friends. I was here to work. So I would work my first 4 hours. The 15-minute break, I would not take that. Then I would work the next, there's 2 hours or 3 hours. I wouldn't take the 45-minute break. Even if I took the 45-minute break, I would take for a few minutes, eat fast within 5 minutes, and get back to work. I was not taking breaks. And then I'd finish working my 8-hour shift. Very soon, the management noticed that I was not taking the breaks. The manager actually came down to me and said, "Listen, I want to make one thing clear, that I notice you're not taking your breaks." He asked me, well, like, why? I told him, because I want to work hard and I want to prove myself. He said, "Say, listen, I want to make it clear that if you don't take your breaks, we are not going to compensate you. And I want to be very clear." I said, absolutely. So he made me sign a waiver form that I would not make claims for working during the breaks. I signed. Very happily, I signed. Okay. So now I used to work 8 hours and people started to like, he's gone mad. Because I was the only Indian there. The only guy who was working like this. After that, I decided, okay, I'm just working here cleaning and sweeping and cleaning toilets. I'm not going to grow. So then I started to work after 8 hours. So imagine, 8 hours they pay me. But now I was working the 8 hours, plus I was working another additional 8 hours for free. I'm not joking, I'm not playing around. I would work the extra 8 hours for free. And it was not like just work, it was work really hard. Like, I'd finish my 8 hours. The manager would come, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm working." He's saying, "Didn't you finish your duty?" I said, "Yeah, but I want to learn something new." He was like, "What?" Saying, "I want to learn something new." So I was like, "Can you give me some work so I can learn something?" I actually used to tell him that. He was like, "What do you want to learn? This is only sweeping." He's saying, "Still, I want to be the world's best sweeper." He would laugh. So he would put me for sorting out boxes. He would put me for working in the call center. He would put me for serving customers nachos and juice and, the refreshments, which was, you need to progress in the levels. But he would give me. And I was so happily working as to show the enthusiasm and the drive to work. And you'll not believe, everyone in the company was talking about me. This is pre-tattoo days. But the workers were very angry with me. They didn't like it very much. But I didn't give a damn because I was not there to make friends. But the management loved me. Very soon I got a increment from the management. They gave me as a bonus, but they gave it quietly because they didn't want to make big noise about it. Then after 3 months again, I got a increment, and then there was a talk about me getting a promotion. But then things happened here and there, and life had to go on. I moved on. So the point I'm trying to say is, where people were working there for 1 year, 2 years, and they were in the same position, me in hardly 3 months, being the youngest, one among the youngest, I got a chance to get, promoted. So this was because of the attitude that I had. I would work harder than anyone. I'd work smarter than anyone. I'd push myself. There was no day off. I never took a day off. I never, ran away from work. I would work extra hours. I'd do whatever it would take to make sure that, I proved myself every day, every hour, every minute. So, and I also made sure that the management noticed me. So if you want to succeed, now if you're a youngster and you want to succeed, writing all impressive stuff on your resume, you can't fool anyone. Nobody's going to get fooled because obviously you don't have any experience. And let's say that even if you play around and bullshit on your CV or you put impressive words, the guy who's across the table will ask you questions. He'll take your interview and he will know in minutes. He'll know that, yeah, fucking around, man. Come on. So that is why when I deal with youngsters, I first and foremost don't deal with youngsters. But the second part is, if I do deal with youngsters, I put them in their place and make sure that they are grounded, and I make them understand that we guys at a senior age, you can't impress us with your shit, with your nonsense. So, don't try. Don't even get there. And it's only those who are humble, no? It's only those who are humble, who are down to earth. They are the ones who succeed. And those are the types of people who make it in life. I'm not saying that a youngster cannot get better than us. Of course, there are so many, from Mark Zuckerberg to, I'm sure there are millions out there. But the rich, pampered kids, or the kids who think I'm going to be rich. I'm going to be a consultant, forex trader, coach, 7-figure income, YouTuber, internet marketer. That all is bullshit. Yes, you can get lucky by getting viral, but eventually the maturity that comes with age and experience, that youth does not have. So I hope this game gave you some insight into being a youngster and how you get into the corporate world. Yes, there are strategies, but they're very limited. There's only so much I can do in terms of a resume, in terms of interview skills. But the main thing comes down to your attitude, your humility, your heart, the drive and desire, the fire that you have inside. And this nobody can teach. You either have it or you don't. So I hope this gave you some insight about youngsters getting jobs in today's world. I hope this gave you some perspective. And let me know your questions if you have any. Put them in the comment section below, and I'll be more than happy to answer. All right. Take care, guys. It's me signing off. Pretty hot.